Professor?
Okay.
Professor?
Would we like to get started? Okay. So the topic today was, is time travel possible? And if so, in what way? And think of all the consequences. Think of as many consequences that you can as a result as of time travel. And to begin with, we have Amber's Thesis Comment on this topic. I will just read this out loud. Just keep along if you want. Time travel is possible. I cannot explain why. However, humans will be in a carrying capacity and state in about 40 years where there aren't enough resources for our population, or there will be some fundamental problem of our life, whether it be food or gas or disease, that we cannot accommodate. So what I'm trying to say is, humans will die or have other problems before they have the human brains or manpower to make time travel technology. If time travel is achieved, then we should definitely utilize it, but I don't think we should change anything. And if we were to change something, would it change the life that we all have lived in? Would it change the life that we have all lived in? Or would the time traveler just enter an entirely different existence that is the same Earth and universe, but a different history? Meaning that there are infinite existence of every possibility. The time traveler cannot re-enter their past existence life after having altered something by going back in time, because they entered a new existence. In the case of how time travel works, I don't know how it might have been something to do with becoming microscopic or being split into microscopic parts and then rebuilt into a different time. Perhaps we can only invent going into the future, or instead freezing our body like Aang from Avatar. Hope this helps.
Who understood that?
Wait, what did you say about Avatar? Yeah.
No.
Read back the Avatar part.
Perhaps we can only invent going into the future, or is that just freezing our body like Aang from Avatar?
Oh, freezing our body.
See, that's my problem with time traveling. First of all, I don't think it's possible. I mean, I don't, because there's nothing to give me like any like factual evidence that it can happen. The only reference I have is The Flash. Alright, and you're referencing to that. You guys remember when Barry was he was trapped and he tried to save his mom,
Right.
and everything changed. The good, the bad, everything. And when he came back, even though he had his mom back, like everything good about his life completely changed, and he hated that. So he went back and changed it. So I feel like even one small thing that if somebody was to change, it would change everything. It's a chain reaction.
Butterfly effect.
Would it?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean, would it?
Interesting.
The first question is, do you think it's possible? So does anyone agree that it is possible or not?
Physics major. It's possible. It's like, it's established theoretically.
Do you guys think it's possible?
Yeah.
It's established theoretically, but we don't have the materials or the energy to.
Yeah.
Oh, we can. If it's established theoretically, then it's possible at some point.
To quote Stephen Hawking, it's only a matter of engineering.
In my opinion, I believe that it's only possible to go forward in time, but not backwards in time. Because if it were possible to go backwards in time, then someone would have already came in and done something.
How do you know they haven't?
Why didn't people from the past come here then?
Why didn't people in the past come here yet? Because in the past they didn't have the technology to do it yet. We still don't have the technology to do
Oh,
it
you
yet.
said you can only go forward.
We can only go forward.
Oh, I
so
got
not
you, I got
necessarily
you.
backwards.
Only after it's invented can
Yeah.
time travel be possible?
Got you, I get what you're saying.
After it's possible, after it's invented, we can only go forward. You can't, you personally can't do it yet until it's been invented. After it's been invented, you can go forward in time, not necessarily, not backwards.
But that's a little counterintuitive. So if you travel like, wait, never mind. Faster.
Do you guys all understand why it's possible to go forward in time?
Because you would have created it.
No.
Oh, you're saying going forward in time?
Going forward in time. Do
Yeah.
you know why?
Why not backwards?
Yeah, why not backwards?
Okay, going forward in time is simply you're going faster, faster across the Okay, it's the orbital.
Oh yeah,
versus-
it's yeah, you're right.
It's
I didn't know this was a theoretical
it's a theory. It's a theory of relativity. It's proven by the. Okay, no.
Until we get in the
I have to include in.
Okay, TA. Show the video.
I don't know. It was established in any way.
Yeah. Even like wormholes are like instances of like when you're taking a shortcut in space, you're also taking a shortcut in
Time, yes.
That's technically.
There are two possible methods, and I agree that wormhole, though it's still a theory, whether or not it's theoretically possible to have a wormhole, but we do not have enough evidence to see if there's one in reality. So if there is a wormhole, it's like going.
You better watch this.
Just get the.
So instead of going like a long distance to get here to this point, you're folding space you're warping space so that you have a shortcut to reach this point.
Yes.
Right. So this point is.
Oh, okay, I catch you.
So why can't you go back?
Yeah, just do it on a paper. That's like makes more sense.
I did it to Ellen, right?
Yeah.
It's the same concept I did to you.
Do you guys understand the wormhole concept?
Yeah, but why can't you go backwards?
How does it
Yeah, why can't you go backwards?
No, even if you go backwards, it's still that.
Space and time are one and the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to grasp.
Regardless if you go backwards or forward, I mean, like if you go back or forth in this wormhole continuum, it's the fact that you're going faster than you're supposed to. You're going faster than the speed of light.
Okay.
Theoretically, you are going faster than the speed of light. In this case, I do not know if time travel going backwards may or may not be possible, but I know for a fact that going forward in time is possible. In both this situation and the twin paradox situation, where let's say that you have a twin. It's twin 1 and twin 2, right? So twin 1 gets on is on Earth. Okay.
Okay.
Twin 1 is on Earth, and twin 2 gets on a spaceship and goes on a spacecraft at like a huge speed, like huge as
Faster
in
than the speed of light?
not faster than the speed of light. Faster than the speed of light is theoretically not possible. This is not going. You're not moving faster than the speed of light. You're just going in front of it, since speed of light would follow the right way, but you're following the shortcut.
Okay.
You're taking a shortcut.
Okay, I see.
So light is going like this, and you're going like this.
Yeah, okay.
So in this situation, you're going at a speed that's very close to the speed of light, like 99% speed of light or somewhere around there.
Okay.
So you're going that far, and then you come back. After about, let's say that you went for 30 years, depending on how fast that you went, your twin may have already died. He may have lived over 100 years, over 200 years, etc. The time on Earth has already passed. Like the time on Earth has passed over 100, 200 years, depending on how much time how fast you were going.
Okay.
So like every small amount of speed that you go after a certain amount, it's a huge variance.
Okay.
Okay, that's how time travel forward in time is possible. So
Okay.
just creating a spacecraft that is super fast will get you somewhere. Like even now, it's already shown evidently possible, because people, let's say that you have there's an actual astronaut who has a twin on the ISS. Right, so there are two astronauts.
Okay.
One of them is living on Earth. The other one is on ISS.
Okay.
The person on ISS is 2 minutes faster, or 2 minutes older than the other person now. Like he has aged 2 minutes more than the other person, and that's only by going like a few thousand miles faster than.
Oh wow.
So let's get the rules clear. The closer you approach the speed of light, the slower your environment gets, right?
Time dilation.
Yeah.
Time dilation.
So if you reach the speed of light, then
it's not possible.
okay. But
Reaching the speed of light, we don't know what happens. We
okay,
just don't know.
but if you go faster than the speed of light,
If you go faster than the speed of light, we don't know either.
Yeah, in like the LHC, they like try to put more and more energy in the particles, but it keeps on approaching like 99.9% and stuff, but it never approaches.
Yeah.
Was there a reason?
Regardless, okay, they do it at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland.
Okay.
So they actually did the experiment with atoms, which resulted in them going 99.999999999% speed of light, but they were never able to get to speed of light.
No matter how much energy they put in.
No matter how much.
Just not.
And from that atom's perspective, everything slows down around them.
That's incredible. I didn't even know that they made any advances. How do y'all know about this?
Physics major.
Interesting.
Y'all?
Friends of a physics major.
No, I just saw a video, I think.
That's really
Okay.
interesting.
So another question I have is, can we look back into our time? Not necessarily that we are time traveling, but can we look back into our time?
Like, okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay?
That's also theoretical stuff, but I don't really know the physics of it.
So
if you can move forward in space and backward in space, you should also be able to move backward and forward in space.
I'm not saying that you're moving backwards.
Just seeing.
Just seeing time behind you.
Oh.
Right?
Remember?
This is the theory that I propose.
I remember this.
You know,
Yeah.
he remembers this. I think I already told you this too. So let's say that you are on Earth. Okay? The universe is huge. There are trillions, quadrillions of planets, stars, etc. Trillions and trillions of solar systems. So theoretically, it is possible for a planet to exist that's fully reflective. Right? Like a mirror, it's just fully reflective.
Okay.
It's like a huge planet that's just a mirror. Right?
Okay.
Do you not think that's possible? I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
just
I never thought about it. I don't know.
so. Let's say that you shine a beam, like you're just focusing, just looking at that specific planet.
Okay.
So if you go look at that, this is Earth, and that's that planet. If this is a distance 2 light years away, you're looking 2 light years away, right?
Yeah.
So that means the light that you're seeing on the reflective planet is 2 years old, right?
Okay.
But the light that this planet already got is 2 years old. Already 2 years old.
Okay.
So technically, what you're getting is 4 years, like a 4-year age difference of what was already here on Earth. You're looking at what was happening on Earth from
okay.
that.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
No, you don't get an image. All the light doesn't reflect.
All of the light does not reflect. That is the problem.
It's gonna be. You don't get an image at all. It's gonna be some light rays.
Is it possible for us to be able to focus it enough to see such an image?
So you would see like everything 4 years into the future or beyond?
Behind. That's what I'm thinking of behind time travel being behind. I do not think that it's possible for us to personally go back in time. But if, for example, this is instead of 2 light years away, if it was like 2,000 light years away, and you could still focus it on it, what if you're able to see what happened like 4,000 years ago, 4,000 BC, what happened? You could just figure it out. 2,000 BC, what happened? Be able to figure it out if it's at that specific distance away.
That's weird.
But what would you were saying that? How is it possible for a planet to become like a mirror?
Mm-hmm.
How is it possible?
So, what is a mirror composed of?
Yeah, I don't know.
LA?
Something that does not absorb light at all. Something that reflects light very well.
Search it up.
What? Didn't you do this in physics too?
I am a professor. You should
Shut up
stop.
and search it up.
Wait, didn't you do this in physics
I'm
too?
pretty sure it's just silicon.
Huh? Didn't you do lenses in physics
Yeah,
too?
we don't know the material.
Well, I remember I asked Lau this once.
I think it's silicon or something.
I think he just roasted me.
Uncle Lau.
Yeah.
Or is it like aluminum?
Fishbowl. He called us a fishbowl.
Who said that?
Right. This is the correct summary.
It's an intellectual conversation.
We're not doing a small fishbowl between 5 people and the teacher. Starting us off with the question.
1, 2, 3, 4. Starting with the question.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Silver?
What the hell?
Okay, according to what we have seen so far, the element that we have known is to be the most reflective layer is silver.
Okay.
Aluminum is what we use on a normal occasion, but now it's for a solar mirror it's even better with silver. Silver is just more expensive. That's why we use aluminum instead of silver.
Not to go.
Now the point is, even if you get a perfectly reflective material, the light will
Looks
like
amazing.
lose
I've seen a couple people. They make
its
like
spectrum.
The light,
Oh, yeah, I saw
that is true.
So yeah, you can really, that doesn't physically work.
Can you not see a certain amount of it and then change? I mean, based off of the spectrum that you see, can't you edit what you're supposed to be able to see?
You can just like, the best you can probably get is a light ray that was 4 years old.
How about instead of having a planet be made of light, we put a mirror instead?
That far away.
How are we supposed to get it that far away, that quickly?
Think about this, light going there is like passing through air, other stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna like get dissipated on
It gets
the light
dissipated.
might not get there at all.
The thing is, why don't we just keep instead of looking at it from Earth, just look at it from above Earth, so that it's only going through a vacuum. What would it get affected by if it's through
You're
going
gonna
through
build
space?
2 light years worth of vacuum.
No, space is already a vacuum.
No, it has junk in it, like tons of junk.
It's a vacuum.
It doesn't have an atmosphere. That doesn't mean it's a vacuum.
Is space not a vacuum? Do you not consider space a vacuum?
No, it has too much junk.
There,
Planets,
so
asteroids,
that's something
trash,
else.
gas,
How can you see? Okay,
and all that stuff.
imagining that there's a direct pathway from where we're seeing to the object.
Okay, you need a perfectly vacuum space that's 2 light years long and a perfectly reflective material. both
Yes.
of which is like not gonna happen.
2 light years is a pretty long distance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's technically possible.
What you said is long and you said it.
Yeah, it's long, as in there's going to be a lot of planets on the way. So couldn't one of them just be one of them?
Why?
Okay.
No, you're not gonna get 2 light years of vacuum.
Okay, this is
Perfect vacuum.
Earth.
There are gonna be like other stuff in the way.
This is Earth.
Do you not get what you're saying? Yeah.
This is the debris around Earth.
Okay.
Right? So let's start with this shuttle, like right here, that can absorb space, like the image. So let's say the Hubble telescope.
Okay.
Right? Then the thing is right, the planet is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Imagining that there's a distance. Oh, shoot. Wrong place. Way right there. And around it are all the planets and galaxies around it.
Oh, you cannot get like a 2 light years of clean shot like that. I'm pretty sure you can.
I mean, how are we able to see things that are billions and billions of light years away?
The light,
14 billion light years away.
if you don't, that light must have like reflected and come back, so the apparent position we see might not even be the real position of the thing. Yeah, the stars we see today may have perished like millions of years ago.
I mean, the modern location is probably different, but the location that we're seeing it from should be the same, right?
Now think about it, if the light like refracts due to all the stuff, you're gonna see an apparent position.
How would it go? How is it gonna be able to go through a planet? How is the light gonna be able to go through a planet?
What?
The light just can't go through a planet
Yeah, it's gonna get like warped and reflected and all messed up. That's why you don't ever get a clear picture of a star. That's too far away.
Interesting. So you do not think it's possible at all?
To capture an image of the past?
Mhm.
I mean, I don't really know the theory, but it's established that we can travel to the back.
How can we travel? Got lost.
I'm not sure. There's a freaking time machine. I
Like
don't know.
nerds.
The wormholes can get you into the past.
Wormholes? I'm still in confusion about, because what you're doing is
You're creating a cheated shortcut in front of the light. So the light is not aware of this shortcut right here, right? This is the path that light uses.
What? Okay. No. Let's say that curved path is like a million light years. The straight path is like
One light year. Yeah, that's what
so
I'm saying.
if you go through the straight path, you're technically going faster than speed of light,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that can like jump you in time.
But where would you end up by doing that?
You don't really know. That's hardcore physics.
So if you're starting on Earth right here, do you still end up on Earth if you do that?
No, you.
Where are you
in
ending
a
up?
Galaxy very very far away. Very very far away.
So how can you go back in time by doing that?
When you're moving in space, you're also moving in time.
Yeah, I agree. So aren't you going ahead in time by going that way and then going same time going that way? Or actually, I mean, I guess
You don't really know what
the speed.
point in time you're gonna end up with.
I mean, obviously, time is not constant among everything. Okay.
And even if we could, like, how would create a wormhole? How could we control, like, the destination?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's we already talked about. We don't know what the destination is.
Yeah, we don't have a time travel path.
What if
Yeah.
we could, with the wormhole, we could limit the amount of light, so then we can know the amount of light here, so we could calculate where the destination would be.
The wormhole. I do not think. Do you think it's possible for us to create a wormhole to warp
With
space
our
ourselves?
Current resources, we don't have enough energy.
I mean, I don't think we have enough energy in the entire solar system.
Anyways, for the sake of discussion, let's say time travel to the past is possible. Let's say time
Okay,
travel.
let's say it is possible.
Okay.
So, what happens if you murder your grandpa?
Oh, the grandfather paradox. Starting off with that.
Well,
Interesting.
let's say that you go back in time
Okay.
and you murder your grandfather.
What would happen?
What would happen?
How far back are we talking?
Whenever your grandfather was alive.
Yeah, whenever your grandpa was alive.
Oh, like
Like
Before
before
he
your
was alive?
before your
Yeah.
before your dad was born.
Then we wouldn't be here, would we?
But if you weren't here, wouldn't he still be alive? If you didn't exist, wouldn't he still be alive?